I would like to, before I bore you with my speech, I'd like for us all to say something they say at school, pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's start this tea party. It's an honor to be here. I want to first thank Trish and the Tea Party Committee for inviting me to speak today. I'm glad to see so many people here today. I'm especially impressed to see all the young people that are here. I've spoken to many of them, and I am amazed at the depth of their knowledge, and I am encouraged by their passion for sound government. The first Tea Party was to show the tyrannical King of England that we did not like being taxed so heavily and being represented so lightly. We all remember from school, no taxation without representation. Please, we only advocate peaceful and lawful protests. Today's Tea Party is not that much different from the one before. Washington is not listening to us. Washington ignores us. Washington does not fear us. Today, we want to send Washington a message. We are fed up and we're not going to take it anymore. Our forefathers gave us a republic form of government. That means rule of law, not rule by tyrants in Washington. Our forefathers gave us the Constitution as our law. We are a constitutional republic. The Constitution does not give Washington the power to do whatever they please. The Constitution limits the federal government. The Constitution protects our God-given rights from an abusive government. The Constitution holds the government in check and prevents the majority from violating the rights of the minority. The Constitution states exactly what the government is allowed to do. And friends, it's not that much. The legislative branch, Congress, has 20 things listed in the Constitution that they're allowed to do. That's right, 20 things. The executive branch, the president, has 6 things listed that he is allowed to do. And there are 14 things listed for the courts. All of these are listed explicitly. Well, why is our federal government so large? Also listed are the things the federal government is not allowed to do. There are the first 10 amendments known as the Bill of Rights, which most of them start out with, the Congress shall not. The Congress shall not, all the way up to that wonderful 10th Amendment that says, well, if we forgot anything, you cannot do that either. Our leaders in Washington swore an oath to the Constitution. Does anyone here believe that they're keeping that oath? Our country is $11 trillion in debt. Yet our congressmen are giving billions away in foreign aid. Is taxing you, the public, in order to send your tax money to foreign governments in the Constitution? We are $11 trillion in debt. Yet our congressmen are giving billions away to private banks and industry. Is that in the Constitution? We have a Department of Education. Is the education system working well today? Is government education, public education listed in the Constitution? We have a Department of Energy. Is energy listed in the Constitution? People, we have departments of transportation, health, housing, and labor. Are they listed in the Constitution? If Washington would follow the Constitution, our government would be 20% its current size and only 20% of the current cost. No more unconstitutional micromanaging of our very lives. No more unconstitutional spending. No more deprivation of our liberties. Washington thinks that if they're not prohibited, then they can do anything. We have been asleep and elected a bunch of self-serving politicians. Thomas Jefferson said, "Bind men down from mischief with the chains of the Constitution." Amen. We are here today. We here are to remind Washington that they have it backwards. They work for us, not us for them. Amen. They are to protect, not provide. This Tea Party today is to let Washington know that we're not asleep. Lawmakers, you are hereby put on notice. We are watching you. We may have been asleep when we elected you, but your self-serving inability to follow your oath to these great United States of America and to the Constitution has awakened a sleeping giant. And we're mad. But in fairness, should we place all the blame on Washington? We elected them. Let me ask you, just what is our problem today in our great nation? What's wrong with America today?
Where's his mama? She's right here somewhere.
Our national problem today is ignorance. Ignorance is desired, created, and sustained by those we have trusted. Friends, freedom cannot survive in a nation of ignorance. But we here know that the majority of our citizens, us, will act responsibly and vote intelligently when we are correctly informed. We must build understanding and increase awareness among our American people. Informed and alerted citizens must be organized and activated as quickly as they can be found and taught. An active and informed electorate would first bear down on the U.S. House of Representatives, where many of these unconstitutional programs can be stopped, mainly by cutting off the funds for them. By the same means, other unconstitutional and harmful legislation can be blocked, and the disastrous course of our nation can be reversed. The next objective of an informed electorate would be the U.S. Senate, to restore its role as a legislative check on the House. A constitutionally correct House and Senate would then strip the courts and the executive branch of the unauthorized powers they have assumed.